Hello, everyone. Okay, at this point in time, hopefully you had an opportunity and you were successful in building your first CRUD application that incorporated adding, updating, deleting, and displaying information. Basically, these four buttons right here. Hopefully, it wasn't too bad based upon your requirements of your application and you were able to get it to work. If you had some issues, I still recommend you reach out to your instructor or maybe your peers to help you get everything working. Again, because once you get it working, it becomes, again, cut and paste. But you need to understand what it's doing and make sure you analyze every line and truly seek to understand every line. Once you do, it's not too hard. Now, I tell you that you're now a professional CRUD programmer. Congratulations. Well, it's take it for what it's worth. Every set of requirements you're going to receive to building programs, especially database application programs, is going to be different. What I'm trying to tell you though is that by being able to do these four things that you basically learned and hopefully practiced already, you'll be able to do any kind of program that you actually need, even a pretty sophisticated one. And you'll actually have an opportunity to practice those in the future of this class and also throughout the rest of the curriculum. The goal there is to learn how to take what you just learned and apply it to the requirements that are given. Remember, not everything fits in one size. Okay, everything looks different. People want different things. They want it to look different. They want you to do things at different times, and so on. But with that said, if you can sit back and look at it, design what it is you need to be doing, think about what you need to be doing, design it out, you should be able to incorporate any of these four into what you need to be doing. And once you start getting used to that, you're going to be amazed of how quickly you can write pretty sophisticated database programs. Okay? Like I said, is there more to learn? Of course, there's more to learn. There's always more to learn and more to practice. That's the great thing about being a software developer. You're never going to get bored. Once you think you know it all, something new is going to come around. And with that said, it's always a learning type of career, and which I think is good. I like that. Sometimes it gets obnoxious that you always got to learn something new, but if you like change, this is basically the career for you. If you hate change, I'm not so certain you want to be in this career because technology is always changing. In this video, what I wanted to do is now to kind of branch out on another topic, incorporating aggregates into our program. Okay, everybody knows what an aggregate is, right? At this point in time, so an aggregate is a SQL command that will allow us to total something up. And so was three main aggregates that we actually use in IT 111, and that was count, sum, and average. Okay, and I use count and sum quite a bit in all my programs. I would say every program I write, database programs that I write, incorporates aggregates. Why? Because we don't store totals in our databases on purpose because those totals can change, so we don't store them. We allow the aggregates to accumulate them, right? And then we display. That way we have a totally dynamic program. So if I have a statistic here and somebody in another place has this same application, they add a new student, I should be able to hit statistics and see that a new student has actually been added to my database versus, you know, looking at a total somewhere. I'm going to aggregate those students together. All right, so aggregates are very important. I know in a lot of cases it's a struggle to learn aggregates in IT 111 because it comes late in the semester, and in some cases you don't completely understand. I, I plead with you to learn aggregates and make sure you do understand and practice them. Don't avoid them because you're going to write them quite a bit in your database applications now and throughout your entire career. Okay, so get used to them. And if you're struggling with them, just reach out so you can get some help. All right. I have a couple aggregates in this particular program. I added this button called statistic. And as you can see in my statistics, I have a total of 2 students. So I was an aggregate to add up how many students are in my database and how many courses each student is actually taking. Pretty simple, right? So they are simple aggregates, but let me go show you how this code actually works. Okay. And so I have a form called statistics. It kind of looked like this. And what I did was, in this particular case, I loaded the statistics based upon the form load. Once again, you may be learning statistics based upon another event. Could be clicking a button, could be rolling over something or whatever. You just need to know when you need to go get stuff based upon the requirements of your particular application that you're writing. In this case, I wanted to click on that button from the main form, and when it loaded, I wanted the statistics to be there. For the most part, everything looks identical to what you've done so far. We have an aggregate here that's always going to return one row. In this case, I'm going to count my total number of students. If I do that, I can just read the one row. I don't have to loop. If there's nothing there, I know I don't have any students in my database, so I can tell them, I can basically say my total students is 0. But if I do have students in my database, I will basically have my aggregate total. See that alias right there, total students, that's what you would use right there from your results set to post, in this case, your label. Pretty simple. Again, we're going to do execute reader, not execute non-query. This is execute reader because it's a select statement. We use execute reader on select statements. We use execute non-query on updates, deletes, and inserts. Here's one that's a little bit more tricky, not really, but basically what we're doing now is we're going to look at each one of our students, and it's going to tell us how many courses that are actually in, how many courses they have taken. That's what this is doing. So I count the student IDs in the T student courses. Okay, that will tell us how many courses they're taken. All I need to really do is join the T student courses to this T students table. I don't have to really join the courses because I'm not getting any specific information about the courses. I just want to know how many courses are taken. And the T student table has a row in there for every course they have taken, correct? And in this case, I'm going to join it based upon the T student ID on both of them and group it by first name, last name. All right. In this case, if I do have more than one student, I want to be able to loop through the result set. And so that's why I'm going to do my while data source read. So again, something you've already done before, and I'm adding this to a list box. Everything should look the same. Obviously, I'm using total per student, which is the alias of the aggregate. And that's what I'm going to reference in my display here. Make sense? Going through it rather quickly because for the most part it's the same as what you have done so far. All right, so we test this real fast and look at it one more time. Okay, if I display my students, I have 2 students, James Jones and Lon Kim. So I have 2 students, so my statistics should say 2. And then I sit back and it says total courses per student, James Jones. Lon Kim is not here. Why isn't Lon Kim not here? Does anybody have an answer for that? Let's see. Let's go back up here and look at this. Can anybody help me with this query? Why isn't Long Kim showing up? Anyone? Anyone? Is anybody yelling it out there in student land? Okay. So if you look at this, the reason it's not showing up is because Long Kim is in the T students table, but he doesn't have any T student course rows, correct? Because he hasn't taken any courses. So because we're doing a join, there's no match there, so thus nothing comes back. So if I want to explain that to my boss, he might say, that doesn't make any sense. You tell me there's 2 students. I want to know how many courses Lon Kim's taken, or I want to know how many courses every student's taken, even if it's 0. If I tell you that, what do I need to do? Anyone? Is anybody yelling it out? What would that be? Even if you're returning 0, I want to know. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad you're screaming, and I can hear you through my microphone and my earphones here. It's going to be an outer join. So if I sat back and put a left join right here, right, will this now work? Now this will bring back what? Everybody, students here, even if there's no match over here. Now let's watch this work. And there you go. Long Kim, 0 courses. That's good information. We know Long Kim hasn't signed up for anything yet. And so that's good. If I just did a basic join, we lost Long Kim. If I had 50 students in my database and only 20 showed up, it's really hard to know what happened to the other 30. In some cases, your boss might think your program doesn't work. So know when to utilize an outer join. All right, so there you go. Like I said, everything you learn in IT 111 applies to database programming, from outer joins, inner joins, aggregates, subqueries, and so on. So it all applies based upon what you need to do. And that's how this all works. All right, that is this video. And again, I'm going to allow you to play around with this. And we'll have another video coming up that's going to talk about the next steps in you learning more and more and applying what you just learned to bigger projects.